Are you listening? Damn.
Hello everyone, my name is Ashima Kohli and I'm a French trainer. So, in today's video, we'll be covering the topic of verbs in French, particularly the first group of verbs that are ER verbs. Okay, so let's begin. So, what are verbs? What are verbs in English? So, as written here, a word or a group of words that is used to indicate an action that something happens or exists are known as verbs. For example, to have, to be, to eat, to buy, to like, to watch, to speak, to dance, to sing. All these action doing things, action doing words are known as verbs in English. So now let's start with the topic of verbs in French. So there are two types of verbs in French. First, the regular verbs, which follows the same pattern of the conjugation, and the irregular verbs, which don't follow the same pattern of the conjugation. Okay, so there are three categories of verbs in French. As written here, first category is known as ER verbs, second is IR verbs, and third one is RE verbs, which also have the irregular verbs. So, okay, let me explain this in detail. So, the first category or the first group of verbs are known as ER verbs, which are parler, to speak, chanter, to sing, aimer, to like, and etc. Like all the verbs which are ending with the letter E and R are known as the ER verbs, which belongs to the first group of verbs. For example, the examples are written here like parler, chanter, aimer, regarder, danser. Okay, so the second group of verbs are known as IR verbs, in which all the verbs that are ending with IR are known as the it belongs to the second group of verbs like finir, to finish, venir, to come, choisir, to choose, etc. And all the re ending verbs, which are known as the third group of verbs, which ends with the word re, like vendre, entendre, répondre. All these verbs are known as the third group of verbs, and all the irregular verbs like aller, être, vouloir, lire. So you could guys see in all the irregular verbs, they are also er verbs, they are also re verbs, they are also ir verbs. All these verbs don't follow the same pattern of conjugation. That is why they are grouped as second verbs, which are irregular verbs. Okay. So in today's video, we'll be covering the topic of ER verbs in detail. So let's begin. Okay, so let us take an ER verb, which is parler. Parler, that means to speak. Now here, parler is written in the infinitive form. So what is an infinitive form? The verb before it is conjugated is known as the infinitive form of the verb. Like the verb parler, it's not conjugated yet. That is why it is in the infinitive form of the verb. So we'll be doing the verb in the present tense in this video. So to conjugate an ER verb, for example, parler, as I told you, we are taking the example of the verb parler. What we have to do, we have to remove the ending, we have to remove the ER, then we have to add the following endings. Okay, so removing the last two letters of an ER ending verbs, you will get the radical to which you will add the following endings with respective subjects. For example, if we took the verb parler, we removed the ER, we removed the ending, then the word we got is known as the radical of the verb, to which we'll be adding these following endings with the subjects. Okay, so let us see that. Like as I told you, parler, we have removed the letters E and R, then we got PARL, which is the radical of the verb. Then within the radical of the verb, we added the following endings with respective subjects. For example, je parle, we added E. We took within the radical, we added E, like I speak, I am speaking. Then Tu parles, we added es. Then il parle, we added e. Elle parle, we added e. Nous parlons, we added ons. Vous parlez, we added ez. Il parle, we added ent. Elle parle, we added ent again. So this is a way to conjugate an ER verb. Okay, so like now let's see the meaning of the ER verb. So je, tu, il, elle are in the singular form. Nous, vous, il, and elle are the plural form. Tu parles, that means you speak or you are speaking, is the informal way of saying. And vous parlez, which also means you speak and you are speaking, is the formal way of saying it. Now, il parle and elle parle, they both conjugate in the same manner. Like he speaks, he is speaking, or she speaks, or she is speaking. So we are adding e with il and elle, right? Now with nous parlons, that means we speak and we are speaking, we are adding ons. Now, I told you vous parlez, which is the formal way of speaking, you speak and you are speaking. Now, the plural way of saying they speak or they are speaking with the feminine form is we are adding ent like elle parle, and with the masculine form we are adding il parle, we are adding ent. Okay, so I hope this topic is clear, and let us take another example. So in this one, we took the verb regarde, that means to watch. In this verb, we did the same thing. We took the infinitive form of the verb, then we removed the er, we removed the endings, then then the word we got is known as the radical of the verb. In the radical of the verb, we are adding the endings respective to their subjects. For example, je regarde, we added e, that means I watch or I am watching because it is a present tense. Then tu regardes, that means you watch or you are watching, we are adding es. With il and elle, we are adding e, that means he watches or he is watching, or she watches or she is watching. Now, nous regardons, that means we watch or we are watching, we added ons. Now, vous regardez, we added ez, that means you watch or you are watching in a formal way. Now, with the plural form, with masculine and feminine, we added ent. Il regarde, elle regarde, that means they watch and they are watching. So, I hope this topic of ER verbs, the first group of verbs, is clear. So this is the way you conjugate a regular ER verb by removing the endings, then adding the following endings, which is e, es, ons, ez, ent with the respective subjects. So I hope your doubts are cleared. So thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Have a nice day. Bonne journée.